Well, it's not only hot, it's deadly hot. At least 22 people have died so far in the heat wave currently sweeping the country. And conditions will only get more dangerous in the coming days, forecasters say. Factors such as relative humidity of more than 90% and little or no wind are making temperatures that are already high feel downright unbearable. Here's ABC's John Donvan with a snapshot of our sizzling states.
It's all over the map, this heat. 106 degrees in Wichita, 98 in Milwaukee, Oklahoma City 106, 99 in Chicago. And while it seems to be going nowhere, this heat, it is in fact slowly sliding east, which is why the map, literally the map, has been in the headlines almost everywhere. Hot colors we're not used to seeing. Triple-digit temperatures likely just ahead for New York, Philadelphia, Washington. With 27 states on some sort of heat advisory, the almost predictable heat-related casualties in the neighborhood of 24 deaths so far. There is at least some help available in many places. There are cooling centers and water on offer outside the Salvation Army in Lafayette, Indiana.
People may have other ways of cooling off, whether it's taking a 2-hour shopping trip at the mall or sitting at the library for a few hours or going to a bookstore or something like that.
And tonight they were handing out water at the Cubs game in Chicago after that Twins game in Minneapolis a few days back where people were dropping like missed fly balls. See this? A TV cameraman in Indiana found this shot of flowers in the breeze newsworthy because what's desperately missing in all of this heat is wind. And with humidity some places at levels no one can remember, the heat index is crazy. Taylorville, Illinois, 121. Newton, Iowa, 129. Hutchinson, Minnesota, 123. In Oklahoma City,
and just more gross heat, guys. It's really the only thing I can think of to say for tomorrow.
There have been only 2 days in July with a temperature lower than 100. Once it was 98, the other time it was 99. Some perspective. Yes, it is hot this summer, but the images that tell us that, the buckled pavement on Iowa's part of Interstate 380, kids getting wet in Indianapolis, firemen getting wet in Kansas, and the laments.
Oh my goodness.
It's very hot. It's very humid today, and it's only getting started.
The chorus of hot weather laments.
Oh, it's brutal. I mean, it's early, but it's still hot.
I can't stand it. I just can't stand it.
It's actually a time-honored summer ritual because we've had hot weather before.
The pattern that we're seeing right now is very similar to the 1930s, 1940s, and actually a little bit of the 1950s
So we've
as well.
been here before.
We have been here before, but we have a lot more people. We have a lot more requirements now, and there's a lot more exposure to it, the number of people we have.
Still, this is now, and it does have consequences, economic ones, for example. This heat can be hard on crops. That was evident at this farmer's market.
We ended up with 3 tomatoes off of one vine.
That's all.
Before they just fried.
And the heat can also hit the nation's corn crop, and corn needs cool nights.
In terms of agriculture, really hot weather can stress the corn crops in the Midwest, for example. We're very concerned right now about the very warm conditions in the overnight periods that strain the growth of the corn crop. So we could see corn that's coming in below expectations, and that slight scarcity will adjust the prices upward.
So corn actually needs the evenings to cool off?
Yeah, it does.
Otherwise
actually.
it doesn't
Yeah,
grow.
Yeah, you need that kind of balance. You need the cooler evenings and the
So if it doesn't
warmer
cool
days.
off in the evening?
Yeah, we've noticed that last summer too. That was a big issue, that depressed corn yields below the trend line. So that was a problem last year as well, and I think it's going to be a problem this year too.
Cattle in South Dakota have also been falling over dead in the heat, 1,500 so far. And back in the cities,
all of these air conditioners running 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Can we handle it?
We can handle it, but it will strain the utility grid, and we will have some problems occasionally with some rolling brownouts and things like that. But what a lot of people don't realize is that we use other commodities to produce electricity as well, like natural gas, for example, is used to fire up electric plants. And so natural gas supply is running below last year's levels.
it tests us, weather like this, not because it is new, but because it is now. And you see the dust storms blowing around in Phoenix, and you can only dream of the time that will come when the breeze will be cool once again. I'm John Donvan for Nightline in Washington.